All right, so in the new part of character creation, we're going to start with the essences, which is basically how character creation begins. Now, some of you might have some guesses as to what the essences are, but we're just going to go over very simply the first of many. And the first we're going to have is the virtuous. The virtuous is uh, an either or scenario. When you choose this option, the virtuous is either going to be a purity or a vitality mage when you create them. That's their basic colors. So when we go down to the explanation, the virtuous nature, the virtuous embody the highest ideals of morality and ethics. They represent a steadfast commitment to doing what is right, just, and fair, regardless of the circumstances. That's very important. A person who possesses this characteristic is guided by an unwavering moral compass, always striving to uphold the principles of honesty, integrity, and compassion. They are dedicated to protecting the innocent, aiding those in need, and ensuring that justice prevails. This quality is marked by a deep sense of responsibility and a desire to contribute positively to the world around them. Whether facing adversity or making everyday decisions, a virtuous individual consistently chooses actions that reflect their strong ethical beliefs, making them a beacon of hope and righteousness. And yes, this is essentially the lawful good section of making a shade mage. It's the essence of the virtuous. But we're going to go into a little more detail with this virtuous nature. If you choose the purity option of the virtuous, you have a few bonuses that you start off with, and most of these are the same, with uh, exception to the base movement and uh, resistance bonuses. Um, they're both two power and four toughness starting, and that's another thing that's changed is your essence also determines your power and toughness. Your starting power and toughness. This is another change to the game. Is there is now power in the game. You now have a standard attack damage base to work with. For purity, your base movement starts at 20, and your resistances are +2 sanity, +4 agency, and +2 stamina. Vitality is also 2 power and 2 toughness, but they start out with a base movement of 25. They're slightly faster because nature and whatnot. They also start with the resistances of +2 grit, +2 agency, and +4 stamina. And then we go to the skills. Train skills. Now, train skills are different, are determined by your dominion is they're called. So for purity, your train skills are going to be acrobatics, athletics, bluff, diplomacy, endurance, and heal times too is whenever you put in your score for your skills, you double what your purity score rather than just adding it normally. Nature, perception, religion, and stealth, and vitality is slightly different. There's no bluff in vitality, but there is history because nature people actually learn from their mistakes ostensibly, and they have a little more streetwise and thievery because survival of the fittest. Oh, and they can intimidate. So there we go. Going forward, we now have examples of virtuous characters. We're going to start with Aslan from the Chronicles of Narnia. This is an obvious good example. I'm not going to read it, but just so you have a general. Now, Aslan is literally in C.S. Lewis's novel the personification of Jesus Christ. So of course he's going to be a virtuous character. He's going to be someone who is above reproach, someone whose morality and sacrifices is pretty much beyond dispute. After this, we have another virtuous character that uh, you could create in the Shades of Dominion is Jean Valjean from Les Miserables. Now, this is a man that correct. I'm actually no, I've watched Les Miserables. I just didn't understand most of it, and that's not because I didn't. If my memory serves, I'm not a savant of Les Miserables. Is what I'm trying to say. I've watched it. I've read the book. I'm just not a savant at it. I'm not. It wasn't something that really caught my interest. This man goes to prison, escaped prison, and then shows mercy to his pursuer. He's he's essentially a good man. He was thrown in prison for stealing bread because he wanted to eat and feed him and his daughter, if I'm calling correctly. He spares his pursuer and risks his freedom to save his friend. Very good, upstanding, uh, virtuous character. And last is, of course, Samwise Gamgee. We all know that we need a Samwise in our life, someone who's our rock, our strength, someone who carries us up the goddamn mountain of doom. But yes, this and also the simplicity of Samwise, his uh, his own kind of simplistic, it, it, the sheer purity of who Samwise is and what he stood for. It is an excellent example of what this virtue represents, what this essence represents, the essence of the virtuous. And that's it for the virtuous. You can make virtuous characters. They are our lawful good alignment, if you want to put it that way. And you can go through and they have their own character creation section. So they will have so all of your bonuses, all of your backgrounds, all of your shade vessels that you can pull from, they will be in there and and these are just some examples of inspiration you can pull from to make a virtuous character. That's it, everyone. Have a good day. Go throw some shade. Bye bye.